Woman to Woman on Independence Television. I am Blessing Aichi. Now today we have something that I'm sure everyone watching will be interested in and wondering, okay, how is mine? Do I need to expand mine? What we're talking about today is the social circle of a woman. I didn't say monthly circle, I said social circle. And Didi Lawrence is here with me today. Didi, hello.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's always a pleasure having you. You're a delight to hang out with. Did you know that Didi is a poetess? So one of these days on the show, would you read a poem written by Didi on the show?
Okay, cool.
Because, you know, those who are poets, they have a way with words, you know. It's their thing. They can just play with words and, you know, with all the rhymes and everything. It comes out so nice. So, talking about the social circle of a woman, a person's social circle usually will be those that they are connected with socially. So, what should a woman's social circle consist of ideally? You know, when a lady or a girl transits into a woman, certain things change. And sometimes the social circle also change. But what should a woman's social circle consist of ideally? Some persons is just for them. It's me and my family. And maybe if they are Christians, as their church members, whichever religious body they belong to, that's just it. But what should it consist of?
Okay, as you said, a social circle is like a social circle that you connect with.
Yes.
So it's for a woman, I think it should be something out of the norm, maybe away from your job or connected a bit with your job, or it should be, whichever one it is, should be a group that is supportive, a group that is constructive. It should be a group where you can relax, take the load off, where you can just do away with pressures, and or it could be a group where you find mentally relaxing.
Okay.
You know, so
I like two things that you've mentioned: supportive and relaxed. Let's talk about support, for instance. Does it seem, when you come in contact with certain women, most times maybe friends, colleagues, church members, maybe those belonging to the same club with you, does it seem like a lot of women have this supportive social circle beyond their family?
yeah, some do, some don't. Some actually have their family members as their support group. Like myself, I've gone through things in life that made my sisters to become a huge supportive group for me. You know, so for some people, it could be some certain members of their families, and some, it could even be some members of staff in your workplace. It could be like, I come to ITV, I'm rather close to some of you, and somehow we form a supportive group. You know, it could be something constructive, like I said. You know, 2 days ago I got an invite, like there's going to be a book review or something, and you know, it's something that makes you feel like you have people you relate with, people you, I think a social circle should be selective. You shouldn't belong to every.
Like you should be deliberate about
about how you, because
the
social circle, I believe, has a form of correlation between your physical well-being. And so if you can have a group of people you socialize with, and you realize that they are a small kind of group and they don't bring out the best in you, I believe you should withdraw. You shouldn't belong to every form of clique. Some support groups could be your friends, and you going out with them, you realize that they are heavy drinkers and stuff, and you don't want to be such, so you have to withdraw.
So that's where you've got to be intentional about this. And say, no, this is where I want to belong to. This is. Now let's look at the other thing you said, relaxing. Now that's one thing I do not think a lot of women know how to do. Maybe as girls, they knew how to do that before they got married. They knew how to do that. But once they got married and settled into family life, husband there, children there, a lot is demanding for their attention. So like I said earlier, it seemed like for some women, the social circle is just family maybe the religious group they belong to, and maybe those from where they work or do business, and that's it. So there's really no circle to relax, to unwind, to just be you as a woman. Why do you think that happens?
Maybe over time some people have learned to be reserved and they don't go out much.
Okay.
And you can't really blame them. And maybe some are just comfortable sticking to their family. But if you say you have your family people as your support group, a time will come, your family people will plan a marriage. Somebody will get married. So you're still socializing. You still need to bring
your circle beyond your family.
Yes. So somebody is going to have a baby dedication. Somebody is going to. So you're still going to socialize in some way. So if that's okay with you, I think it's okay.
Okay. When you have a circle that is just limited to your family, even if they are very strong supporters. Some women are lucky to have lots of sisters, and then they form the bond. I've heard some ladies say, oh, my bestie is my sister. Well, I'm like, lucky you for those who have sisters. And then some just feel like, really, they have trust issues. So they do not feel like they should bond really with those outside their family circle. So when it's limited to your family, is there a disadvantage?
Yes, a bit, because your family may just be too attached to you to want to say things the way they are.
Okay.
But your friends out there that are not actually your family members can see you and know you better.
Okay.
They can have a more constructive criticism of your behavior, your character. They are in a position to be able to analyze your actions, whether it's a family member may just be too sentimental and not really want to hurt your feelings, but friends out there could actually tell you, Didi, you're too loud.
Okay.
Could you pipe down a bit? You know, somebody could go like, you are getting too random. Can you, you know? So it's about you trying to give yourself the best. You know, when you think of your mental health and you're restricting yourself to just family, it might not help you much. Going out there, meeting people, belonging to not necessarily clubs,
maybe associations,
maybe an alumni. You know, it could be of help. It could even help your way of thinking, of reasoning, and it could help the way you relate with people. So it's not so advisable to be so restricted as a woman. While you're being selective on the kind of party or group you belong to, you still have to mix with people and be outgoing. I know that it's not all of us that are out there. You know, somebody like myself, I always like to use myself as an example. Growing up, I was really reserved. But over time, I just kept on coming out, being so outgoing, I just want to do those things that I couldn't do then, because I believe I can actually do them. I'm coming out here to talk. Time was, I would never. You call me, I'll go like, no way.
And if you had not interacted with one person or the other, you wouldn't have been able to come here.
Of course. So.
Okay, but do you think it's also a cultural thing that once you get married, and then you are seen as a woman, you should be reserved? We have this conservative expectancy of women that, oh, no, you're not a married woman. You're not a woman. You shouldn't be, you know, you shouldn't really have a social life as such as
well, I would say it depends on the family that you're married into. I believe during courtship, you must have been able to relate and understand the family you're married into, and you have made up your mind to go along with their cultural demands. Because if you go into a family that believes that a woman shouldn't be out there too much, and I believe you've chosen and you've accepted the way they believe a woman should comport herself, and you have accepted to comport yourself that way. So it's a matter of choices. So.
All right, now let's look at the benefits of having a social circle that expands beyond your immediate family, maybe even your neighbors. what are the benefits it brings? How does it
A
spice
lot,
the life of the woman?
I'm going to give you an example.
Yeah.
Last week I was just going through Instagram. I had some time, and there was this live broadcast of a lady, and I just went in. And when I got in, I discovered it's a group of ladies just talking about everything constructive about the woman.
Okay.
Trying to know what they are in Atlanta, Georgia. They're trying to know what women are into, and immediately they saw. I wrote it there, Didi from Nigeria. Okay. They're like, wow, someone from Nigeria joined us, and they were interested. What do you do? What do you? And I went like, well, apart from being a staff in an organization, I do some social stuff. I help some young ladies get on their feet, and God brings one or two once in a while my way, and I asked, and they were like, how do you do that? You have a big house, you have, you know, we got talking. Yes. And I'm talking and sharing ideas with people outside my own country.
Okay, so you're
I'm expanding my knowledge, the way I'm able to relate, and I'm learning other things. Okay. You know, I got some proposals and stuff. It's taking me out of my usual niche. Okay. So I'm not just being
spreading your influence as well.
Yes. So it's what's more relaxing than that? You know. Okay,
then just be comfortable in one small circle. And, yeah, you know. I sometimes hear that some women complain of being lonely and being depressed, especially when they have children who are growing up, like maybe going to school, boarding school, and so they're not in the house with them all the time. Husband is busy working, so it's just the woman in the house.
Yes, that time comes. That time comes, and it's your social circle. Okay. That will help pull you out of that depression. Okay. That will help pull you out of that mental fatigue. It is your social circle. I'm going through it. Okay. My boys are grown. Okay. They are more independent. Okay. During this strike, the university strike, I found myself where I'm alone. Okay. So I had to identify with my alumni group, secondary school alumni group. Okay. They keep me busy. Oh, someone just lost a brother. Did it in Benin. Can you lead the team? Okay. Can you go with them? Okay. And I'm out there. Oh, Didi, somebody is celebrating. Somebody in the alumni group. Oh, and it helps. Okay. So this period where many staff of the university are at home. Okay. I am not really just restricted in one place. I'm not lonely. I'm out there. I'm doing things. Okay. I joined a school of theology online, and they are being given responsibilities. They are not my social circle. Okay. I relate with ministers. I relate with church overseers, and I'm just out there. Okay. And I'm not lonely in the house because I'm on a strike. Okay. So it depends on how you want your life to be as a woman. I don't think you should restrict yourself while you're being selective, making sure that whatever social circles you join is not the wrong one. It's not the wrong one. It's not adding to your stress, because some can actually add to your stress. One of us here introduced me to a political group of ladies that support political parties that are, you know, that are adding to the society. And I discovered that they are some of their bounding laws did not conform to what I would love to be involved in, and I withdrew. Okay. So you have to look at it. In what way would this add to my person or to my personality or to my life? If it's not something constructive, if it is something that your husband is going to frown at tomorrow, that's another thing. You have to be very careful as a woman.
Some women will tell you, well, I want to be out there, I want to be with other people, but my husband would not just let me. Is it because they're unable to identify what suits them?
Yes, at times the man has looked critically into that group and knows what might come out of it tomorrow. Is not something that will be palatable. So you should just sit down and listen. Yes, these supportive groups can listen to you, and they should be such that the friendship should be a true one. One with true friendship, one that can be confidential. Because there are times you just want to share. Yes. You have challenges as a woman that you just want to share. Recently, you heard of one of our actresses that is going through mental health. Yes. Must have shared with the wrong person, and it's out there.
That's another problem. That brings us to the issue of trust once again. Are we that kind of friend to the other as women that a fellow woman could say, I want to belong to this group because we can share issues, you know, whatever we go through as women, challenges, maybe for a new mother, getting to understand what motherhood is about, and getting other mothers to say, oh, it's like this, you can go through it, this is the way you wade through it. But you sometimes find that in such groups, there's a lot of bickering, there's a lot of, you know, bad mouthing, there's a lot of betrayal.
That's why I use the word smug. Some people can be dirty, some people can be trashy. So you have to be very selective. Once I notice, once I'm in a place or with a certain group of people, and I notice that there could be some form of trashy form of, I will draw a bit. I'm watching from a distance. If you want to rubbish me, I won't take it. I won't stick around for you to do it. I will withdraw immediately. It is my right. I didn't sign any papers to belong to any
so any legal papers. Leave same way you came in.
It should be, a social circle should be such that at any point you're not comfortable with anything, you can move on.
All right.
Exactly.
Well, how do you connect? While you were talking about certain social groups you've gotten into, I discovered that you mentioned online for some. How easy is it for people to connect?
It depends on how,
want to, but they don't know how to.
It depends on how open you are. Like I talked about my secondary school alumni. I just realized it's been existing. And this is 2022. I finished school like 25 years ago, and I'm just joining. That was my point of discovery, of realization. It was when I realized that I can actually be part of them. So it depends on what you want. You can be deliberate, as we said. You can decide, I'm just looking for this group that all they do is maybe go out weekends and just have fun, discuss, chat, a sit out. They are there. You could be surprised that even you feeling as a Christian, I shouldn't be found in some locations, maybe a club or some, you know, you could actually discover that in that your church, there are ladies that hang out. Positively, so constructively.
You could even form yours.
You could form yours. You could, you know, so it doesn't even have to be a place where you have to go out. From your home, you can have a social circle.
But some persons find that difficult. You know, people have different interpretations of things. Now, when it began to become a thing to have fenced houses in neighborhoods, it seemed like that's isolated people. And so this neighborly communication where you come out in the morning, see your neighbor, oh, good morning, and from there conversations could start, doesn't really happen. How do you break through those walls?
Look, I have a new neighbor that moved in, and I noticed that immediately he moved in, yes, we cleaned the compound around. We tried to maintain the quarters and just keep up the hygiene. And but he went the extra mile. He got out and did some cleaning that was unique, that was outstanding. It brought out people. Somebody looked through the window and said, what's this man doing? Mowing, doing, you know. Everybody came out like, what's going on? Somebody's joining somebody, and before you know it, we are talking, we are relating, he has opened up, you know, where people normally just stay in. Oh, Saturday we'll clean. It's not now limited to just Saturday. School evening, somebody can come out and be pruning the trees or flowers, or somebody is talking. Now, because we are relating, people don't wait for certain people to open the gate, or Megad or somebody. So your neighbor could be coming in and you hear the honk and you're like, let me open the gate for her. So
but if you do that, I don't know, it seems like men have this understanding more. If you choose to help the other lady open her gate, for instance, you know, some ladies can be snobbish. How do you think that would go?
Hello, my snobbish neighbor.
That's, I'm in your face.
I'm in your face. Like I could actually come like, hello, my snobbish neighbor. And you will not hear the snobbish part. You're just seeing me smiling and but I've said it. And you're like, what did she say? By the time you're thinking what is, I say, so how was your day?
And then you're also
smiling. Like, you know. So it's I don't really allow what people do or what to affect me.
Okay.
Who I am. I on my alumni, I'm in their face.
Okay.
I tell them, you can't put me down. I won't let you.
Okay.
I do whatever I feel like doing. In the mornings, I get up, I jog around my house and do some things. I video myself, I put it there, and I tell them, if you're as big as I am, it might not be so healthy. So start jumping around, start doing something. You don't need to go to a big gym, pay huge sums of money, and you can just start from where you are.
Okay.
You know, you don't have dumbbells and you feel you don't have a budget for dumbbells because you have big arms and you want to work out. There are rocks in your neighborhood
that you could use.
Pack them in bottles.
You can improvise.
Start using them. You don't have excuses. We keep giving excuses and stuff. You don't have any. Just start from where you are.
Okay. Now, as a place to connect, when you were talking about you don't need to go to a big gym, I just remembered, I hear that the gym is like one place now that for people, especially for ladies. And when they're bored at home, they're just like, oh, there's a new gym there. So once you go there, you meet other ladies, you begin to talk, start a conversation. But really, it should not be hard for us as women or ladies to start conversation because we have so much to talk about. From the hairdo of one woman, you can get into lots of things. Now, I could meet Didi and like, wow, this color suits you so much. Why did you make this hair? And something happened. Well, is it a thing of not wanting to compliment the other woman because you feel it takes off your shine, and so every other person is holding on to an attitude and just holding on to their
a negative attitude imbibed over time. You feel you're all that. People should rather come talk to you than you talk to people.
Yes, they're waiting for people to come
ladies are like that. Everybody can't be out there. Everybody can't be that nice.
They have to come to me thing comes from. Is it from the way you were raised as a person?
At times, upbringing. At times. As I said on my alumni page, people hardly comment. They are scared to even speak up because some have become so they've become so, I'm looking for the right word to use, some have become so intimidating that others feel, I might say something now
somebody
and
says it's
somebody
wrong,
says it's wrong, but it's not, so they are scared to be criticized. And I look at it like, no, be open to criticism. Constructive ones, negative ones, just be open. And while sharing your points, or you can just share and don't feel that I must take or believe in your opinions. You should be able to look at my opinions. You don't like it, but just read it and go like, oh well, that's your opinion. You should be able to express yourself.
The difference of other persons.
You don't have to feel it's yours, that it's superior or it's the right one, or you should be accommodating. Accommodate other people's views, other people's opinions, and let them be who they are. Now we are grown. We are no longer 20s. We are no longer 16. So we should be more accommodating. We should be more patient with people. We should be more understanding. We should give room for
every woman.
Give room for wrongdoings. People are going to wrong you. People are going to, and give people benefit of doubt. Maybe
now, when we're talking about the age thing, we're no longer 20s. We're no longer, there are women, people who got into womanhood quite early. So it shouldn't matter the age you are, as long as you are a human being. Shouldn't that be that accommodating spirit in you that is there to accommodate other persons? Because I'm trying to look at it this way, that maybe that's why some persons won't even accommodate in-laws, because it's just the familiar that they like to accept. If it's not common to what I know,
you're not open to new things. But that's wrong. We should be open to new things. You could actually discover that the new things you're learning could be much better than your old ways. So we should be open. You can't tell me that you're using grinding stone. You're grinding. Then I bring a tech blender to you and you're telling me, no. I can't go, what is all this? All this technology. You want to go back to your grinding. Okay, you go ahead. I keep my new ways. So
so lastly, let's talk about mixing with all generations. I'm going to go back to the age thing again, because I see it's an issue for women. It's like older women don't want to make friends with younger women. Younger women don't want to make friends with older women.
Maybe they remind them of when they were young and beautiful, and now they are old and shriveled, and they're like,
But
Oh,
everyone will get there. Everyone will get there. If you're a young woman today, you're maybe in your early 20s, or you're maybe in your 30s, you're in your 40s, or you just turned 50 and you find a woman of 60 or 65 who wants to be a friend, always around you, and you're like, no, that's not the circle I want. I don't want to connect with that sort of circle.
Okay, so there's this group of women in their 50s, 60s on Facebook. I found it intriguing, so I joined.
Okay.
I'm not yet there, but
yes.
I joined and I enjoyed them.
Okay.
Quietly,
I learned from
I learned a few things,
group.
and there was a time they were talking about dress sense, how they dress, and I loved it, and I'm already visualizing. Maybe at that age, I'm wondering what will be the new fashion sense and what will be.
All right, we're out of time, and we just have to leave here. But I think basically, age should not hold anyone back from having friends or connecting. Because even when you say, oh, they're old, you will get there someday.
Yeah, of course.
We'll all get there someday and want to know what it's like to be there, so you're prepared. Thank you, Dee Lawrence, for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
So, yes, I asked earlier, if you do not know what your social circle is, or you think, should I expand? Now you know the benefits of having a more rounded social circle. So I think you should go out there. Don't wait for them to come to you. Expand and just enjoy the benefits. After all, what is life if you can't connect with people beyond those that you're already familiar with because you were born into the same family? My name is Blessing H, and next week will be another time for Woman to Woman.